Hello my dear friends, and welcome to my channel. My name is Barbara, and today we're going to be looking at the 6th house. So super excited to be getting into the 6th house. It's ruled by the sign of Virgo and by the planet Mercury. Now what's interesting is Mercury is Gemini's ruler as well. So it's all to do with communication, technology, and travel. So if you have a lot of the 6th house energy in your chart, because of the sign of Virgo, you're probably going to be someone who's interested in health and healing and being of service. Okay, so you could be interested in even working in the health and healing industry. So something like a doctor, a nurse, again, depends on the rest of your chart and the rest of your placements. Or you could be interested in things like alternative healing, like Reiki or energy healing or ancient Chinese medicine, any sorts of things that are basically going to be able to help those around you. Now, Virgos do tend to get a bad rap that they're overly perfectionist, okay? But this is because they really want to make everything be the best before they present it. So a shadow aspect of Virgo is that they might actually be too focused on making something perfect before they actually present it to the world, that they actually don't end up presenting it to the world. Okay, so it really depends on the rest of your chart. With this 6th house energy, you could be someone, again, it goes on a range. A lot of the time Virgo tends to be highly psychic and highly intuitive. I know this is something that's not really associated with the sign, but this is because they're directly opposite. They're in opposition to Pisces. So whenever we have these oppositions, they tend to bounce off one another. What's really amazing about Virgo is they're actually able to take psychic information and ground it in the physical plane, okay? They're able to actually take these ideas and dreams and manifestations they have and basically put them into reality because of the fact that they're an earth sign. They're very logical, they're very pragmatic, they really know what they want and how they're going to achieve it. And a lot of the time, like I mentioned, they do have a lot of this psychic information that comes through for them. And because they're not like Pisces, so Pisces tends to get lost in their minds, Virgo is going to basically look at how they can execute this and how they can basically put this through until the end, okay? This idea or project that they have, okay? So this is really with Virgo, but like I mentioned, it's really important for them to just put it out there, okay? Not really sit down and look at it and nitpick every single thing, say, okay, this is off, it has to be perfect, it has to be ideal. This is one thing that might hold Virgos back, okay? Because they really want it to be the best version of whatever it is that they're putting out there. Let's say they're making videos like these ones, they don't want there to be any sort of error in any way, shape, or form. So they might spend the whole day recording and they might spend the whole day editing, and then in the end they might not even post it because there's going to be like one thing that's off and that's going to be bothering them, and they want it to be perfect, okay? So this is what tends to happen with Virgo. If you have a lot of this energy in your chart, it's really important to notice this and to basically work with the energy. This is really what is really good with astrology. We see what we have in our charts and how we can work with the energy that we have. So another thing with Virgo to keep in mind, if you have a lot of the 6th house energy in your chart, depends where it is, okay? Let's say it's in the sign of Venus. Let's say you have 6th house in the Venus. You might be wanting to fix your partner, or you might have an ideal version of a partner in your mind, and your partner could never live up to that expectation because you basically have this idea in your mind of what you want this person to be, okay? And you're always going to be trying to either mold or fix that person, okay? So it's really important not to find yourself in circumstances and situations where you're constantly trying to fix people or partners around you. Again, it depends where you have it in your chart, but let's say it is in Venus, okay, it's really important not to, again, focus on trying to fix a person. I find that a lot of the time Virgos like to take on projects. They want to leave people better than they found them, okay? That's a huge thing with Virgo, and a lot of the time they do, but again, it's at their own expense, okay? This is what tends to happen with the sign of Virgo. It really is at their own expense. They put a lot of themselves aside so they can be of service in any way, shape, or form, okay? So let's say it's in a friendship, they're basically going to want to always be there for their friends, basically want to always help their friends, all these sorts of things. But then again, it's kind of like this energy might not get reciprocated, and then the Virgo is going to get depleted, okay? So another thing with the sign of Virgo in the 6th house, it is ruled by the Virgin, okay? So it's all to do with purity, is really the energy there. It's all to do with innocence almost. They really do have this innocent energy around them, this idealistic view. It does come again from Pisces, okay? Because they bounce off each other. Pisces does have an idealistic view of the world, of how they want the world to be. And again, they might be prone to disappointments because it's not going to live up to this idea they have built up in their minds, okay? So it depends where you have the Virgo in your chart. Let's say you have it in Saturn, which is the planet of karma, but it's also the planet of career. So again, you might be constantly trying to find that ideal career for you. Okay, you might be constantly looking and nitpicking and saying, you know, this is not right in this career. You know, maybe it's too far from my house. Maybe it's like 500 meters too far, right? Virgo is going to notice all of these things. Attention to detail is huge for them. They're very simple people, okay, especially in terms of their style. They're going to be very simple, very earthy, okay? Tones is going to be a huge thing with the sixth house. You're going to notice that like people who do have a lot of sixth house energy in their chart, they tend to be very caring, very compassionate, and very earthy, okay? Very down to earth. You're going to basically see that they're very much, you know, almost like a kapha type. Not all of them, okay, that's Ayurveda. It really depends, you know, on the person, but it really is that energy where it's kind of like they're there, okay? Their space holding is really a big one, okay? With Virgo, they're holding the space. They're not going to be showy, okay? They're not like Leo. They're very, you know, kind of like a librarian, okay? Very put together all the time. Everything even on them is going to be perfect. You know, things that are like mismatched, they're not going to entertain that, okay? They might even stick to like the same food. If they like it, they might stick to the same, you know, TV show, same band, whatever it is. That's really Virgo like qualities. And sixth house energy is they really like their routine. They want everything to be the same. They do have a hard time with change, okay? And it takes them a while to get over certain situations, okay? Because it throws them out of their routine. So it takes them a while to get back into that routine. So let's say, again, depends on where they have it in their chart. Let's say they switch their job, you know, they might not even want to switch their job, okay? They might not even want to switch their job. And let's say a circumstance arises where they do switch their job, they're going to have a hard time adjusting, okay? Because it throws them out of their routine. It takes them a while and sometimes longer than most people to get back into the groove of things and to find that comfort and routine. This is really Virgo. They really want everything to be a certain way. You know, for them, every single day of the week might look the same, okay? They do like, let's say a yoga class on Mondays, and then they go do, I don't know, a dance class on Tuesdays, whatever it is. This is really Virgo energy. They want everything to be the same. They want everything to be in order. You know, it's really, you'll notice that in their homes too. Everything is exactly where it's meant to be. If one thing gets moved, they're going to notice that right away. Okay, so this is really Virgo. They're going to be the type of person, let's say you have like a fluff on your shirt, they're going to like pick it off for you, okay, or at least point it out and be like, okay, you have that there, take it off your shirt. This is really Virgo like energy, okay? They notice everything, and you know, they want everything to have an order, okay, to it, to be nice, to be peaceful. This is kind of how they create their stability for themselves. So if they get thrown out of that in any way, shape, or form, if there's any form of change, it takes them a while to basically get back into the groove of things, and then they do. So what tends to happen is, you know, with Virgo like energy or sixth house, is they might be in situations or circumstances longer than they should be. Okay, so they might be in situations or circumstances way longer than they should be, just because of the fact that they're used to routine, they're used to having everything, you know, be a certain way. You know, even if there's things that they don't like in that maybe dynamic, let's say it's a partner or a relationship or a job or whatever it is, if there's something that's not resonating with them anymore, they're still going to try to make it work because of the fact that they like routine, okay? They really get stuck in this form of routine. This is really Virgo like energy. You know, they really are all about having a schedule, okay? So they're going to be the type of people who have a planner, okay? They're going to have every single thing planned out, and even in their minds, they might have their whole lives pre-planned out, okay? They're going to be the type of people that are like, this is my 5-year plan, this is what I want to do. And again, it could lead to disappointment for them, okay? This is a huge lesson for people with a lot of sixth house or Virgo energy, is to learn to go more with the flow, to be less, you know, stuck on the way things are, rigid in that sense, because again, that's how new energies flow through, okay? That's how new energies flow through, and that's how creativity flows through and new ideas flow through. But with Virgo, if they really pick one thing, they're going to be really good at it, okay? They're going to excel at it. There's a lot of artists even who've had Virgo in their charts, okay? Because again, they're going to basically perfect one thing, okay? They're going to become really good at one thing, whatever that is, okay? However they can, again, be of service in one way, shape, or form. It's going to be on a higher self level. They're not going to consciously be thinking of this, okay? But they're going to basically want to be in service in one way, shape, or form. They're going to pick one thing. They're going to become really good at that one thing. They're going to master it, and then they're going to present it to the world, okay? And every single, you know, Virgo or person who has sixth house energy in their chart has a different type of gift to offer to the world, and they're going to become really good at it. They're going to become really good, and basically it's so they can help others and they can help those around them, okay? So if you have a lot of the sixth house energy in your chart, it's really important to learn to love the imperfections in people around you and circumstances around you in life in general. You know, it's not like it's like a storybook where it's like it's going to be clear from beginning to end. This is the story. You know, this is a really interesting thing to learn with Virgo, because it's opposite to Pisces, where Pisces is water, they're flowing, they really go with the flow, they're all about the imagination and kind of like, I'm gonna do this today and I'm gonna do that today. Virgo, it doesn't work with them. Okay, it doesn't work with them to be like this. They really need to have a certain schedule and a certain way of doing things. Okay, and you know, a lot of the time they're going to be doing these things probably for their whole life. Okay, they're going to have a certain way of doing a certain thing, and you know, again, if they get thrown out of their rhythm or schedule any way, shape, or form, it's really going to throw them off. Another thing with Virgo, so a shadow aspect of Virgo is, if you have a lot of the sixth house energy in your chart, is that you could be a hypochondriac. Okay, so this is a huge thing with Virgo because of the fact that they're so obsessive with health and healing. They could really internalize that energy within them and start to worry about every single thing. Okay, because again, they want everything to be perfect. They're the type of energy that, like, if there is something that's off, they want to fix it right away. Okay, this is really the energy with them. Let's say there is, you know, they need to go do a return at a store. I'm just using this as an example, and it's closed over the weekend, and you know, let's say they bought it for a loved one or whatever, maybe they bought a present or whatever it is, and you know, that person didn't like it, and it's Friday, okay, and now they have to wait till Monday. Like, that's gonna drive them crazy. Okay, this is really the energy with them. Okay, they really want everything, if they can, they want to fix it right away if there's any sort of issue. So again, if you have a lot of this sixth house energy in your chart, learning to work with that and learning again to love those imperfections and to basically you know, appreciate it for what it is. I know it's easier said than done, and I know probably people who have a lot of this energy in their chart, they're going to be there counting down the minutes until, you know, Monday comes so they can fix that issue, you know, again, so they can appease to that loved one, so they can get them that gift that they actually liked or whatever. Maybe it's a size exchange, whatever. I'm just using a random example, but that's really what that is. Okay, that's really the Virgo energy. They really want to keep everybody around them happy. They want everyone to be satisfied at all times. They want everything to be perfect. They want everything to look perfect. And if there's anything that's off in any way, shape, or form, they want to fix it. Okay, so a lot of the time, again, they're going to take on projects, and this is probably going to be subconsciously this energy. And it's really important, again, to learn, if you have a lot of the sixth house energy in your chart, to not compromise yourself for a project. Okay, is really the big thing with a lot of the sixth house energies, to learn that. And it's going to be challenging for them because they're naturally healing. They really are very big healers a lot of the time without even realizing. It's just the energy that they carry within them. Again, because of this Piscean opposition, they tend to be very healing, and they tend to, first of all, attract people like this to them, and then they want to help them. So the hardest thing for them to learn is to basically see that everyone has to go through their own journey in life, and that they can't help everybody. And that's a huge lesson and a hard lesson for these placements to learn, for sixth house to learn. Okay, so really, really interesting. This is really the Virgo energy. It's a beautiful energy. It's interesting to see how, you know, we have all of these energies in astrology and they all end up really do balancing each other out. But this is Virgo. Okay, so Virgo is really all about order, having things be nice, having things be perfect, having everything be a certain way, having a routine, having a schedule, basically being able to help and heal in whatever way they can. You're going to notice, like, they just kind of have a naturally open energy to them, so they're probably going to attract people even like on the streets. Okay, people who come up to them, ask them where directions are, they're going to find themselves in situations like this. Okay, but one of the main things for them to learn is that you can't help everybody and you can't fix everybody, and you're not meant to. Okay, and you're not meant to. So this is a huge thing for the sixth house to learn. It really is a huge thing for the sixth house to learn, and you know, to not be so strict with everything, because again, they'll find something, like I was mentioning even with the health earlier, you know, they'll maybe find a diet and they're really only going to stick to that diet. You know, they're really the type that like picks one thing they like and they only want to stick to that thing, and it's really hard for them to have any leeway, because again, it's all about routine for them. You know, again, they're going to be the people, you'll know, right? You'll know a Virgo when, let's say, you know, maybe you're working at Starbucks and the person comes in, has the same order at the exact same time every single morning, doesn't change it for the whole year. Okay, 365 days of the year, they're going to have the exact same order. That's Virgo energy. Okay, they really like their routine. This is their stability for them. So this is really my video on the Virgo and the sixth house. I do hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, please do like, share, and subscribe, and I hope you all have a beautiful rest of the day.